Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, today I have Mary Elizabeth Davis on the line, and she is a writer, producer, and director over at Redbird Films, an executive producer, and she's in this episode is part of our AFM series where we bring you the best of projects and people that were at AFM and that attended. So let's get into this one. So Mary, first off, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Adam. This is great.
Yeah, so I understand that your team was heavy at AFM and talking about Redbird Pictures and then also your film Eyes on Me. So I want to get into that as well. But first thing first, how'd you get into entertainment? Give me some of the backstory. I see executive producer, writer, and more. Where'd this start for you?
So this started actually 13 years ago. My film is one of those classic personal family story films. I grew up with it as a child. My dad is a character in this movie. And it wasn't until I was 19 and I was standing in Berlin and I realized the weight of what my dad had done. He was the accomplice to helping someone escape the Berlin Wall. It was a beautiful love story. American girl falls in love with a man behind the Berlin Wall in East Germany. And she spent 4 years of her life fighting to get him out and get him free so she could marry him. And my dad was the accomplice that helped him ultimately escape. And so I didn't realize really how incredible that is until I was in Berlin. And it's hard to understand the wall until you see the maps, you understand how it divided the city. Anyways, for some reason, just felt like this is a movie. This is bigger than me. You know, in the U.S., we really don't have a lot of Berlin Cold War movies. There's a lot of World War II. I was a history major. Anyways, I took it upon myself to say, if she can get him through the Berlin Wall, I can write a movie. So 13 years later.
That's amazing. Go ahead.
13 years later, I have written many scripts. I have versions of the script. I have been in film festivals for it. I have gone to Sundance for it. I have networked my way all the way up to where we just wrapped a teaser for the film in Berlin. We shot a 2-minute little promo for it. It's kind of the proof of concept, which was a strategy that was discussed at AFM. And yeah, we have that out with distributors now, but we have some pretty good talent attached. We have female director, female DOPs. I'm really trying to make this a female-empowered film and just kind of approach it differently in the industry. And that's kind of how I got into it. I was just a really determined 19-year-old inspired by my heroine 13 years ago.
Well, talk to me about some of the learning that's taken place, on this journey of getting to this point. Tell me about some of the things that have surprised you on this journey.
Oh, man. Well, number one, when I started, streaming was barely a thing. I think Netflix was out there, but really the way streaming has changed the industry.
Yeah.
I think what's good for me is that nobody knows how to do this anymore. And not completely, but it's just the rules have been rewritten so many different times. I mean, I tried to do this and then COVID hit and then writer strikes and then streaming. And there has been so many adjustments to the industry. I'm from Georgia where, a lot of tax incentives and filming has moved there. And that was new since I started writing this project. And so I think what's great is, in a way, it's opened the door for people like me to say, I can get a foot in because it's all being rewritten and evolving so quickly. I think the other thing is just finding partners who you trust and who you believe in and who believe in the project. I think that has been huge. And it really is just figuring it out and trying to get that first big cast person attached to it, that first big distributor, that first big pre-sales. It takes one domino and then it can all fall into place. You just can't give up. It's really the people who are as stubborn and determined as me who I think are going to make these great films that the entertainment industry really needs right now.
What keeps you going? To stick with a project. I'm a big fan. And when I was at AFM this year, I was talking to some people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I just finished my feature," or "Yes, I just did this," and I get the backstory. And in doing all these interviews, and then I'll go watch them after. I'm like, wow, And the gentleman, I had one guy on here who was talking about his film, and he's like, at one point we were at the end, and now I needed some funds, and I had to. Man, he said I was working and doing other jobs or anything, but at the end I had to get this done. He'd been working on it I think 8 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And what keeps you strong? What keeps you strong and moving forward and going?
I think the relevance of the story, I think I was a history major. That's partially why this story spoke to me. I think there's just so many parallels now between what's happening in the world and what's happened in this film. And it's not even political. It's just, I think it's so easy to see something that's wrong in the world and scroll past it on social media or just move on. And to see Jane, my lead, she saw something wrong in the world. Her heart told her this isn't right. And she stayed and she fought for somebody else for 4 years. And that didn't tear down the wall, but it made a difference in his life. And they're still married today, 4 years later. And I think that's a story we're telling. It's not a Marvel superhero, but to me, it's an everyday hero. And I think it's that cliche of one small act of courage can change the world. And I think, we need to tell more of those everyday hero stories. And that need is what has kept me going. It just keeps coming back as this relevant need to tell that angle, especially for, I think, young women and young girls. To say you have more power in your presence than you realize, I think is something I would love to share. I have 2 daughters myself, so I also want to show them that any woman can do anything.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Did you, prior to this story, and you mentioned you were a history major, did you know you wanted to get into film? Was that a thing or for you, or was this story was so powerful, it was like it just has to get done and you're the one to do it? Did you have aspirations of going this route?
I have had aspirations to be a storyteller. So my other job, because like many, I think, producers and writers, you do have to have multiple jobs. I'm a creative director, so I tell stories visually in short format films, but also in design and graphics. And our whole world is designed to create a feeling and an emotion and a reaction, to communicate something. I think this has been something I've wanted to communicate that's bigger for a very long time. I think I just balance it with a full-time job. Yeah. Because that's how you have to do it. It's a hard business to do full-time because it's ups and downs and roller coasters of when things are happening. And so you have to keep yourself tied to other opportunities in a way. But yeah, I think I've always been drawn to storytelling. And this has been the first story. I have a couple others that I'd like to tell, but this is the first one that I felt like I can do this. I want and need to share this with a wider audience.
Wow, that's wonderful. I love it. I can hear your passion for the project, for what you want to do, how you want to do it, and to stick with it. And these are the fun movies that I get to. It's just such a honor to watch at the other end of this when you finally do finish it, and I get to watch it, and I'll be like, I remember I was talking to Mary about this on the old podcast. I remember we were talking about it. Look at her. I love it. It's so much fun to me to watch somebody complete their dream and to complete that story. And to me, and this is my own bias. You're not saying this, I'm saying this, but it's like one of those things where I'm like, man, you can feel that somebody really poured their heart into this, and they were really the story behind what it took to get that done, right?
Yeah, I hope so. Queen's Gambit, an amazing show. I think I read took 30 years to be made.
Wow,
I'm at about
did it?
13.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, and when they made it, they did it right. It's incredible, and for me, the visuals, the art kind of side of it is beautiful. I've actually tried to track down the production designer to say, will you come do my film? But I think those stories that are really moving and worth telling do take time. And so while it's been hard and I've wanted to give up so many times, I'm halfway to 30 years. So I think that just means I'm on the right track to really building something lasting that doesn't just get thrown into the streaming pile, is my hope. I want it to be a story that resonates. And I think the beauty of entertainment, and that really the purpose of entertainment, is yes, to entertain, but also in some ways educate. And I think that's what I like about my film. You can either be entertained by the music. I say it's the love story of The Notebook meets the historical escape of Argo, but scored in the music of Forrest Gump. You can enjoy the music. You can enjoy it. It's 1969. It's a fun time with college kids on a spring break. And then you can enjoy the thriller of the Argo or the love story of The Notebook. There's so many things you can enjoy about this film. And then you can maybe take the bigger takeaway of how powerful we are as individuals to change someone else's life. I think all of that is packed into this film. And so, yeah, I think maybe in the next few years, I will finally get it there because I've never been closer. Yeah.
I love it. This is a great story. One I'm happy to bring to my audience. Mary, this has been a lot of fun talking to you and getting to know you as in your work, of course, and what keeps you driven and motivated to get this out there. That being said, if somebody's listening or watching this and if they want to follow up, they want to learn more, or they want to connect and follow your work in general, how do they do that?
So we have a Instagram for the film. It's Eyes on Me Movie. You can see all the amazing behind-the-scenes shots and stills that I took in Berlin, some of our amazing German cast that have joined onto the project. You also have me at Redbird Pictures. That's also on Instagram if you want to follow my story. I would just love any support, especially anyone else who's trying to chase their dream, chase their story. Don't give up. I'm here to encourage along the way as others have done for me. Just know that you have a purpose and your story is worth telling.
Amazing. For everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some info in the show notes so you can connect. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Yes, you heard it right. Each and every day, we're bringing you new episodes, new content, new stories. And we got a lot of stuff lined up for you coming up, so don't want you to miss a thing. Definitely hit that subscribe or follow button. And Mary, it has been an absolute pleasure. And I can't wait to see this film once it's done. Come on. So keep it going. I appreciate you coming on today and sharing your story and your passion.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.